This comes from Vince.
Can we bake apple pies in the area?
I don't know.
Mr. Chair.
I don't know. But whatever.
Alderman Weigel.
Mike, I read the reasoning. Has there been damage to homes in the neighborhood?
I haven't got any complaints. I guess Vince did.
Yeah.
They're playing hardball, my understanding.
Was there actual damage, or was this concern that there was damage was going to happen?
My understanding is just concern. I'm not aware of any actual damage that was done.
How long has that park been there?
It's awfully long time.
Yep.
So,
Longer than
I mean,
over 20
enforcement or whatever, I would suspect that unless the window is actually broken, that the police probably will leave well enough alone. Again, the resolution does state in there, in order to try to handle this more administratively, if you wish in the future, to basically between the Director of Public Works after conferring with the district alderman, to restrict ball playing in other parks around the city and your other districts, if that comes up.
What exactly is this saying, though? Is this saying that no hardball playing?
But the sign is going to say something in the way of no hardball playing 15 years and over, or 14 and under, or something. I haven't figured out the exact wording. We did have a sign out there a few years ago, and it was requested to be taken down. Maybe if I find the original sign down at the yard, we'll just slap it up there again.
Okay, but
The
you're
wording's
asking
left
to
open.
basically use this for something for the entire city.
Yeah, and we've done that in other cases too. I mean, we've taken down
Yeah,
basketball
Rogers Park,
courts and that
and
kind
all,
of stuff. So we have done this at the request of the district alderman in the past with other parks in there too.
And you
So
said there used to be a sign there
there
basically
was
saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Basically saying the same thing. And we're looking at the same thing.
Alderman Rowe.
I'm confused. What are we looking for? Just to put up a sign?
Put up a
Or
sign.
to-
Yes. Put up a sign restricting hardball playing for
Hardball.
hardball. Yeah. Hardball playing for 15 and up.
So
Frankly, I'm
frisbee,
not,
wiffle ball, softball, that's still okay.
yeah, that park's not very big. I think even I could whack a softball over the fence over there. So, and I haven't played baseball in years, so I'm not.
And this is-
We might just have a blanket, no ball playing at all, because
There's no diamond there. There is a diamond?
yeah, there's a little one there. If I remember right. It's been a while. But
So we're going to leave a diamond there, and
for little kids.
for
What
little.
we want is the little
So
kids.
you're suggesting
under 15.
no ball playing age 15 and over.
Yeah. And there's a lot of big 12-year-olds.
I think what has happened there in the past is, Little League, when they go for practice diamonds, they're far few and in between. There's not many out there. And I know back to the Little League days, we used to have to go to Greenfield Park, and it was cheap, like $2. But I know that some practiced over there because it's convenient. And
On Rogers.
on Rogers, absolutely. And when you practice in Little League, you're not out there hitting home runs. You're practicing infield. You're practicing relays. You're practicing. It's a different story. So it works. But the kids are 12 and under. They're not 16, 17 years old. You're not having the seniors playing there. But I just know that it was used for practices for Little League.
So,
Alderman Rowe?
okay.
This is just for one constituent, and this is just a sign, and who picked 15?
Alderman Vitale.
I'll let you go first. Alderman Chapleski? Did you have?
No, I just saying, you had said originally hardball, but you're just saying
Well, I'm
anybody over,
Well, that's kind of what I'm suggesting. I mean, 15-year-old kid can whack a softball just
Yeah.
as well as you can a hardball. I
Right.
mean,
Sure.
I realize it's a long time since I played baseball, but
it won't go as far, but it still can go far, and it is a small area.
If you go to places like Franklin, many windshields have been put out in right field, even when I played. If you ever played at, I'm not even sure what they call it anymore, the one that is down from the Happy Tap, that used to be where the rec department is.
what is
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
68th and Arthur. It's
Yeah.
Clint's.
No.
No, Park.
No.
McKinley?
No.
And anyways,
It was the rec
everybody.
center.
Yeah, the rec center was there.
is what
Used
I
to be
always
the
remember
original
playing.
building was there.
Yeah, the original rec center.
Right field fence, same thing. Many people put it over the right field fence and would knock the guy's picture window out occasionally and stuff like that. And believe it or not, the batter's liable. Whoever
Well,
does it is liable. But
Mr. Chair?
yeah,
And that's my point. You have a house by a park, that's gonna happen, and
Right.
does this carry any kind of penalty? I mean, so the neighborhood kids, for heaven forbid, they get together a pickup ball game after school someday and wanna just have some fun, and then the neighbor's gonna call the police, and the police are gonna roll by and threaten them and with tickets, or?
And, Mr. Chairman, my concern on it, and I know it's not your suggestion, but my concern is that now we're gonna have police officers carding all the players to see who's age and everything.
doubt
I mean, they have nothing else to do. You know, it just, and so we're putting up a sign that's not gonna be enforced.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it's just to scare the people who listen to rules away. Who don't. Can we just hold this until we find out?
I was gonna move the.
I haven't heard a
file.
thing from it. I haven't got any calls. I haven't heard a thing. You know, I like
There's
to
no
talk to
rush on
the
this.
thing, yeah.
Absolutely.
Baseball season just ended.
Yeah.
Move the place on hold, Mr. Chair.
Well, we don't have
We
to.
didn't have to do
need
that. We just
Really?
hold it. Yeah, you don't have to act on it. Okay.
So,
Not
we
acting
can just
on.
hold it till I talk to Morgan. I just.
With that, we'll move on to
a
item
new
number
neighbor?
22. Communication from Peter Daniels, Principal Engineer regarding the deterioration Britt River Parkway pedestrian parkway. Mike?
Yeah, I believe Alderman Haas and Pete, and along with representatives of Milwaukee County, met and talked about the pathway, the pedestrian way out there in Orchard Hills. Of course, the county's saying we're not spending any money on it, you can forget it. The suggestion here, and I believe the request from the alderman, is to spend basically $3,000 this year to at least gravel it up and kind of shape it up there and fix it up a little bit. If we go any farther than that, there's problems with the edges and drainage out there. We need DNR, in all likelihood, we would need DNR permits for some of that. We haven't asked them yet, so we don't know. But then the long-term solution is maybe actually paving it, asphalt paving it, but that's like $10,000, and that would be in the future. So I think right now, as I understand it from the alderman, we're just looking for shape it up a little bit, stone it up out there, and we're estimating about $3,000 to do that.
Mr. Chair?
Oh, let's start with Alderman Rowe.
Same question.
In your notes to us this afternoon on your email, it said Highway 100 and something else. I have no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, Highway 100, we of course cut the grass out there, but that is the county responsibility. The county is actually
Why are we doing it?
Because the county won't do it. And that was a long-term, that was an agreement that was entered into years and years ago. The county simply, even though they're getting paid by the state of Wisconsin, the county will not do it.
Why are we doing it then? Why don't?
Well,
We want our
because the
city to look
grass,
good.
yeah, because otherwise the county will allow the grass to get up to here and say, forget it.
Well,
We don't care.
that's nonsense on our part that we're not.
We're not talking to our state representatives, but I don't think it's an agenda, so I don't want to talk about that.
I mean, those agreements were well before I even got here. I mean, we have written permanent agreements with the county
You know,
to do this.
okay, Mr. Chairman,
Yep, Alderman.
where's the money coming from?
I got a $10
People-
million budget. I'll find, if you want me to find 3,000, we'll go up there and find.
And if we do this now and all of a sudden somebody falls down and hurts himself, are we liable because we put in this gravel?
I believe I don't think Scott's here, but I believe we got some recreational immunity.
Recreational immunity, I remember that phrase.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
Yeah, I guess. How many people use this path? I remember we struggled to find lights for 76th Street, temporary lighting during the fair, which to me was like a big safety issue, and it was like pulling teeth to get the money for that. And if this is a county path, you know, and you're right, because if we have to get a DNR permit, there might be a Corps of Engineers requirement, because it's
There's a county permit too.
Yeah, the county permit, yeah, the county,
Probably a $3,000 county.
and how
permit.
long is, and I don't know, we don't know what the water flows are gonna be like, but that's in that floodplain, and that's why it deteriorated. I think there are probably times when the water just runs right over the top of the path there. And how long is this is this temporary gravel gonna last? A couple of years? I guess we don't really know. Yeah.
If it rains a lot,
Yeah, it could be gone in March. Yes, it could be gone in March. I guess that's my concern.
Alderman Haas.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chairman. And yeah, this is my district and this is my baby. I've been the one that's promoting this. It's an important amenity.
Send the bill
for-
over there.
Well,
Send the bill to the.
yeah. Yeah.
The guy who just had the baby.
I laughed. That was my nervous laugh, also. So I think this is an important amenity. Right. This is it's the county's portion. It's the county's problem. What has been happening with Milwaukee County for the last number of years? They aren't doing their job. It's something that needs to be done. Unfortunately, it falls on us as the city to do it. You can see very clearly when you walk that path, there's the city's portion, which is about half of it, and there's the county's portion. The city's portion is a regular concrete sidewalk that is well maintained and in good repair. The drainage easement on the creek parallel to that, it has a concrete liner that the city did many years ago, also in good repair. County's portion is a mess, and it has been. The county in the past has put gravel down, and that washed away. Prior to that, there was asphalt down, and they seem to be ignoring it. As Mr. Lewis pointed out, the idea is that we'll start with gravel at this point, and some riprap on the creek part, and then hopefully the county board can come through and do their part. But it is just a mud path, and it needs an improvement, and it's embarrassing to us as a community the way it stands right now.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
No, it's not me. I was done.
Excuse me. Have you talked to the county supervisor for that district?
Yeah, there was a big meeting of the mayor and all Supervisor Staskunas, and I wasn't able to make it.
Was it
Mike,
Guy-
were you there at that meeting?
Guy Smith, I think?
But Pete was there, and two of the guys from the county Parks and Recreation Department, or the county Parks Department, and that's where this plan hatched. That's where it came from. The county saying, well, we can't do this now, but West Dallas, you do this part, putting down gravel and riprap, and then we'll try and make a more permanent fix. The county saying that they'll make a more permanent fix on their property in the future.
Mr. Chairman, it's $3,000, and with the things we do, it's really not that much money. But we're painting the bridge on Greenfield Avenue. That's not owned by us because they don't want to do it. We're cutting the grass on Highway 100 because the county won't do it. Now the county won't do this either, and now we're doing it. I don't think we have the money to do this. I don't think we have the money to do all these different things. I think we need to get on to the state pays the county for the cutting the grass, and the state gives the county money. We'll just say, if we got to take care of it, either give it to us or, or just maintain it and have the state come in and do something about it, because it's ridiculous that the county's just not doing anything here. So I don't know.
I couldn't agree with you more, except for the part where it comes to, okay, let's just go fight, and then it doesn't get done. So the grass does grow, the bridge never gets painted, the thing never gets fixed. Oh boy, but we sure stood our ground, didn't we? Ooh, good.
I didn't think we had that much extra money. I don't know.
And nothing
Sorry.
gets done. So I
think we
don't
were wealthy.
disagree with we should go after the state for the cutting, but that's not on the agenda tonight. I don't disagree that we should put pressure on the county for the permanent repair. I don't disagree that we should continue to fight with the railroad to try to get some kind of reimbursement. But if we don't do anything, it's going to set, and it's not going to get done. Alderman Road.
I guess Alderman Chapletsky said we're the supervisor's contact, because I know if this was reversed, like if the county's portion was really good and the city's was like crap, they'd be calling us up here. And I don't know what your feedback was. I know you weren't at the meeting, but if we can find $3,000 in a $10 million budget, I'm sure the county's budget is 10 times. Their public works budget is 10 times. That'd be like pocket change to them.
Mr. Chair?
I think we should stand our ground. That's me.
Mayor Devine.
Thank you, Chairman Barzak. I was just going to mention, I presented to you guys a potential park plan a month or two ago with using some of the interest generated from an economic development loan to work on restoring recreational amenities, playgrounds, things like that. So this may be a perfect use for some of that money.
Is that money,
That's just, I just thought if you're, you know, if you're not
That'd be future
comfortable
use,
with,
yeah.
it would be down the road a bit, but I did attend the meeting, Supervisor Staskunis was there. There were 2 representatives from the County Parks Department, and then Pete Daniels, and, yeah, but we talked it out, and, you know, there was a trade-off with, they suggested riprap to, as I think Alderman Haas said, to slow the flow down, which caused the initial cutting into the, and a lot of this really is, you know, stems from a lot of the
Flooding.
decrease in porous surfaces to our west, and a lot of the development going on in New Berlin is causing a lot of water flooding right into that channel. And New Berlin's not putting any, you know, we may be wanting to contact them to ask about putting some riprap down in some of their areas. Chris St. Clair was the other person who was there. And so they were asking us to do a little bit with slowing down the erosion, and I think they were trying to do a little bit, and we were gonna do a little bit, but I'm not sure, you know, what, I think you were presented with a couple options. I'm not sure if you're set on the $3,000 plan or where we're
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah, I would suggest to the committee that this $3,000 is something that needs to be done now, because it's, and to follow up with what Alderperson Barczyk was saying is that, you know, our constituents, they don't care whose fault it is, they want it done. It's an embarrassment as it is.
Alderman Weigel?
We spoke about the bridge over Greenfield Avenue. That thing's gotta get 10,000 cars driving under it every day. We talked about mowing lawn on Highway 100. What's the traffic volumes on Highway 100? I'm gonna bet all 3 of you guys had to look this up on the map to see where this path is.
Absolutely.
I was just shown.
You know, my question is, how many people use this thing?
Yeah.
I bet in this room,
You use
the
it?
mayor knows it, Jim Jandovitz knows it,
Yeah.
Rod Nelson knows where it is, but that's gonna be, and Mike knows where it is. Yeah, and to me, it's the relative, you know, value thing, you know. Really, honestly, Kevin, how many people do use this? Do you know? Is it 15 neighbors?
More 50 some a day.
50.
50.
5-0.
Sure. People walking dogs, biking through there. Absolutely. When I bike to work, I use it twice a day.
I
So are
see
you
it-
one person or 2?
So I
you
count
got
my
that as
2
2.
uses.
You got that as 2.
That's right.
So that's 25 a day.
But I mean,
Well, I understand that.
a lot of
But-
people use that parkway, but
Yeah.
if they see it, they probably don't go
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
I use that parkway all the time. I went and looked at it after this came up. Yeah, it does need to be fixed. And if all we're into it, if this is for $3,000, and we're pretty sure the county's gonna come through and make it good after that, I'm okay with that. But, you know,
Yeah.
And I'm
Alderman
okay
Rowe.
with the fire money, the interest money. Is that up and running yet? Do we?
No.
No,
no.
it's
No.
not. It's just a proposal that, now that the loan has been approved, we'll need to.
Did we ever get a bill from the fair for the lights on 76th Street?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, so there, we
sign
budgeted some
off.
money for the temporary lights on 76th Street. I hope no one from the fair is listening on television. I hope I didn't remind them of, oh, we gotta send West Dallas a bill for this.
I thought they're paying for it.
That's what I thought too.
Any wish of the committee?
I mean, was this just a communication?
No, this
This was a-
is a communication.
Yeah.
It's an approval to
Yeah.
go ahead and.
I would direct
Fix
the
it.
Director of Public Works and Engineering to move forward with the plan and find do $3,000 worth of repairs on it.
Is there a second? As chairman, I can second that, so I'm going to second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
4-1.
3-1.
3-1, sorry. Math. Weigel was yes, and Rowe was yes, and Frankie excused.
She would have voted yes.
Yeah. She gave me a proxy.
Yeah, that's right.
She gave me a proxy.
I talked with her about it.
With that,
better have.
22 passes 3-1. All right, moving on to item number 23, resolution to approve the memorandum of understanding by and between the county of Milwaukee and the city of West Dallas relative to stormwater. Mike?
Yeah, this is an old one, kind of a pullover from the chalet, purchasing that from the county. I think my email kind of summed it up a little bit there. And now here's finally the agreement that was agreed to way back when.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Chapletsky. Is there any further discussion on item number 23? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. There were two joint referrals, number 16 and 17. Are they
Place on
together,
file.
or do we
Place on, you can take them black.
take them? Okay. 16 and 17, they're just to place on file.
I'll move to place on file.
Moved by Alderman Chapletsky, second by Alderman Weigel. Any further discussion on 16 and 17? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. With that, that is the completion of Public Works, and we'll now turn the meeting over to Alderman Michael Chapletsky, Chairman of License and Health.
Okay, let's call license health to order. First thing we have on the agenda is Eric Miller.
Is it Millard or Millard?
Millard. I have to point that out. Huh?
Well, I just had to guess.
Okay, so you're taking over this tavern.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever owned a tavern before?
No, I have not.
Have you ever spent any time on the other side of the bar? Tavern,
Yes.
You have management experience somewhere?
I took over, I was basically management of Walker Inn for about 4 or 5 years at Christian and Daddy owned. They took over what was Corbelli's. When that went under, I helped them invest in that. They can't get it going. So,
You think you can?
yep,
So, but Steve Dunn still owns the building, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
I'm leasing it from Steve Dunn. Yep.
so all your experience in the bar business is what at Walker Inn.
I worked at Big Dogs for a couple of months. When Mugshots was Mugshots.
Okay.
So, been around the West Dallas area.
I guess there's a concern about your history. You have a drunk driving
Yep,
a couple of years ago.
yep.
The problem that we would have with that is that on at least one occasion, you demonstrated really bad judgment. You know, and we're going to be asking you and your staff, because you're going to be in charge and you're going to kind of set the tone of the place with who you hire and what you allow and all that, that you're going to have to make that decision, you and your staff, for your customers at times, of not to have that other drink and get in a car. I mean, that's, to me, that's what the drunk driving thing is. There's a
Yep.
red flag about it. I think your business, was the business plan in there? Yeah. Oh, okay. Then there must not have been any red flags when I read through it.
That's all in there.
Yeah.
That's all, there's everything in there.
Substantially the same business? Or
Yes,
what's there?
the only thing, I'm just trying to change out some of the clientele that's in there. More of a, I guess, I shouldn't say older, but was a young crowd at one point, looking for more of a relaxed place for people to just come and watch sports, basically.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the porch as your smoking area. You're not asking for beverage alcohol out on
No.
the porch?
No,
Okay, and you keep a pretty good eye on that? I haven't had any
Yes.
complaints from the neighbors about it, but
Yep.
if it's not, if it's, no drinks past the door then?
yep,
You know?
I'll put the signs up right there then, and
So,
I know we will eventually, I was just watching there. We'd like to fence in that area eventually.
yeah, it kind of makes sense. You might do something there.
Yeah,
I
we'd,
get
we'd
that.
love to be able to fence in that whole huge grass area. I mean, it's just kind of open there.
Well, I won't get too carried away, but.
Love to do that, put some horseshoe
Yeah.
pits in.
Yeah, but
Any further discussion?
I just had was there an accident with the OWI or,
No, nope.
and then on your plan, you have 0 for amusement machines?
I have to come back today. I was gonna come back today. I didn't have a chance. I just got Reds in there today, or not today, the other day. We got Reds in there. So if you
So it
can
should
change
be
it on there.
amended?
So you need to
It's
amend,
four.
you need to amend your
Yep.
business plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's Reds? I don't even know what
Red's novelty.
Reds
company,
novelty.
too.
Thank you.
I believe we
Pinball,
can we
jukebox,
amend it
video.
right here?
yeah.
At the
Right.
right.
And-
Yeah.
He can
And
knock
the
it
video
out right
poker.
now.
We did that.
Yeah.
for
Other than
amusement
that,
I
only.
think he wants to write it down right
Then-
now with how many he thinks he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
So-
4.
Well, is there anything else in your business plan that you want to amend?
So,
no,
well-
not to. I looked over everything. That was the only
well, we can
thing.
vote on it as it's written down here. We can
Yeah.
just amend it right now. Well,
Correct.
I'll let you write it in there.
Yeah, her magic handwriting.
Yeah, and he can actually change. You can change your form right
Change
now.
it, just initial it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. It's that peach form right there. Yep.
Okay.
Looks like top center.
Yeah, that way.
4. And it'll be distributor. Just initial it.
Okay.
And so you're familiar with all the requirements, you know, licensed bartenders, buying only from wholesalers.
Yep.
You can't go to Pick 'n Save and buy your booze
Yep.
and all that stuff.
That's why Corbelli's got
Also-
shut down.
Also, our expectation on cooperation with the police when there's a problem.
I asked them to leave one time, and if they don't, I'm calling you guys. I'm calling the police.
Last one is, Mr. Chairman, we also have a phenomenal program that I think that we get reimbursed for, I believe. It's called Weeds and Seeds, where we send in actually an underage person at random, at different places, different locations. Usually there's somewhere between 10 and 15 stops they might make. One day they might go for cigarettes, next time they might go into taverns for booze, whatever. So make sure you card.
Okay.
If you have any problem, you think it's a fake ID, you can keep it behind the bar. Somebody comes in, you can give it back at the end of the night, but they come in and they're busted, you have the card. You can take pictures of them, there's swipers, there's all kinds of things you can do. I recommend you do that.
Okay.
So,
Move for approval?
Second. One question, Mr. Chair.
Owen Whale.
Currently it's closed, right?
It's doing business as the crap shoots.
Oh, it is still, and,
Yep.
and when are you gonna take over?
As soon as you guys get me a license.
So they'll have to surrender the license, they have this little dance we have to do.
Yep. She knows that.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you guys.
Then we have a communication from William Savage. They want to change the name from Game Day Sports to the Rye Bar.
Move the place on file. Or approve and place on file.
Just place
Just
on
place
file.
on.
Sounds good.
You don't want to approve any names, do you?
You second it?
I do have a question though.
Owen Whale.
And it kind of goes to, you know, I think the letter said they were gonna transition from Wild Bill to this new thing. Shouldn't it really be like a bright line day where it's a certain bar, a certain operator up to a certain date, and then the new name and a new operator takes over? I know we have sometimes, I've seen it happen in the business where the new owner comes in and operates under the previous owner's license. I mean, no one's concerned about that?
Well, technically, it's not legal.
Yeah.
Because it happens all the time, because how do you prove
Right.
that that's going on?
Yeah.
Unless you've got a
Well,
fairly lengthy period of time.
unless
where
he sends a
somehow
letter
we-
in and says, "I'm
it says
transitioning the
yeah,
business."
Yeah. And,
Yeah, it is.
you know, ultimately, what it's going to require is looking at the books.
Yeah, and we wish the new, I think Patty, we had her in here, the new operator, owner, we wish her well. If no one else is concerned about it, I'll just leave it alone.
Not too much.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carries. Number 46, 47, and 46 and 47 is going to carry. Any motions on those?
Operator's license.
Move for
adult
approval,
entertainment.
Mr. Chair.
Second.
That was 46 and 47, right?
You're correct.
Is there any further discussion on these? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. And we have number 48, music license. Did I just missed this, or?
Did they come in after the license year and apply for this separately?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't see revised operation plan with a new floor plan or anything? Was it, no. It's really just a separate.
Planned karaoke. They haven't been that much of a problem, so.
No.
That's your district.
Yeah.
If you don't, move for approval.
Second.
Have any
And
further?
this will, Mr. Chair,
They're
they're applying for karaoke, but this will, did they check bands too and all that? I mean, I remember looking at it, I guess. Because it's this.
All it says is. that
It just says-
planned.
Just says karaoke and they spelled karaoke wrong.
I can see that from here. Yeah.
So, they're not allowed to do bands. Because the application just says karaoke. Although it's an instrumental music license. Because that's when it's gonna turn into a problem, I think, is if they put some rock and band in there and pack the joint.
Right.
They-
The ordinance that we have, you have to operate it consistently with your plan of operations. So their plan of operation allows for karaoke, not for the live bands. Even though they have an entertainment license, they've limited themselves through their application and your approval to that
Okay.
plan of
Okay.
operation.
Okay.
They can come in.
And they could ask to change it and all
Ask to
that.
change it,
Yeah.
right, but
Okay.
Is that, can we get that noted in the minutes? That'll be noted in the minutes that the application specifies karaoke. Okay.
Any further discussion?
Unless that's the
And
name.
spell karaoke correctly.
Unless that's the name, unless that's the name.
C-A-R-R-Y.
the K, C-A-R-R-I-E.
Yeah.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then we have 49. Say 49.
Approve.
Move for
Subject
approval.
to.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Then we have 50, 51, 52.
Do we just take, that's just those three together? That's all for
Right.
one location?
Right. Okay, this is Pawn America. We've all discussed this. Great Extreme.
And I see Chuck's here along with Chuck Armstrong and Carl. I was actually waiting to see how the parking lot improvements went. And I think we were down to just one last point on the business plan, which I'm willing to concede if you're willing to go to the, you said 250 on the cash payout number?
Sure.
Okay, so I would be willing, having spoken to the other aldermen of the district, we understand that's kind of where we're at, but I guess it's been quiet. I don't know, I haven't heard anything. Apparently the Pawn America did help the police with a shoplifting ring that was working a local business. So that's all good news. But,
Mr. Chair?
I'm done. Yeah.
So you're happy with the 250
Well-
because it was originally 25, wasn't it?
Well, I originally wanted 0. But am I happy with the 250? No.
If I may, where does your customer base, where do they get their money from? I mean, do they have jobs?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're normal people.
Oh,
like
no,
us,
no, I didn't mean that.
In
but-
general.
And they get paid by check, right? I'm guessing.
Some of them might go to check cashing places to cash their check and because they don't have a bank account.
Or go to direct or a debit card, which a lot of employers use nowadays.
In my history, I've been doing this since 1998 and dealt with thousands of customers. Oftentimes, they've got an issue where they've bounced a check at their bank. So in some cases, they don't want to put that check in their bank because they want to wait for their bank account to come home when they get paid. So that's another scenario where they're not going to want to check. They're going to want to get cash. So they're going to choose another place to go.
What spawned that question was there was all
Sure.
this unbankable stuff that you were talking about a month ago, and I'm going, I don't get that, because people work and they do get paid.
Yeah,
It's
and a lot
not,
of
it's not all underground currency. There's,
and we have a product too that we can't unfortunately offer in this store, which is like a debit card for people that can't get a bank account. Who, a lot of jobs force you to do direct deposit now, so they do have cards you can get, but we can't do that in this location. And a lot of customers.
You can't do that in Wisconsin? Is that what it is?
This location.
This location. Statute requires a certain separation and distance requirement. We literally don't have room in this store to do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are fees associated with that. So if they've got their own product they're using, oftentimes the state offers a prepaid debit card because they are on some kind of support or they get child support. They've already got that card or another product that we don't
Well,
sell.
Walmart just announced today some new banking checking system for people, low cost, the Walmart business
That's very
model.
similar to the product we sell.
Go
Yeah,
green.
yeah, that's our very similar to our product.
Mr. Chair, on Alderman Weigel, you asked for an update on the parking lot. Received an email this afternoon from Brad Knopf, who's our construction manager, who's been also working very closely with your Public Works Department and Planning Department. Let's see, they got the final bids in today on everything. And as your departments will tell you, this time of year, it's very, especially concrete.
No, I understand.
They're racing right
It's
now.
a shorter schedule.
And it's a smaller, truthfully, to us, it's a large project in the scale of a concrete contractor, it's very small. But it's to install a new 22-inch wide entrance directly off of Lincoln Avenue, mount no left turn signs for only right turns onto Lincoln, install the low curb and 4 foot high steel fencing along the alley and West Lincoln. Install new PVC panel fence behind the hair salon building. So we're going, rather than doing the plywood or the cedar, we're going to do the PVC.
Zero maintenance. What color? Is it gonna be bright white or is it gonna be beige? Or?
I don't know.
Well,
It's-
whatever makes the property owner happy.
Exactly. And we're working, let's see, demo relocate the dumpster enclosure and put it to the north side of the building, which will actually gain us 2 to 3 parking spots. Install the new light camera pole on the northeast corner of the lot for better coverage of alley activity. And then seal and restripe the parking lot with a new layout. So we have an overall gain of 5 parking stalls. And then also, starting next week, we were actually hoping they're coming in tomorrow, but the contractor couldn't get them in time. The Jersey barriers will be installed along the alleyway next week, if all goes well. So that's all lined up. So that's.
I thought you were
an
gonna
update.
share the bid price with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it has gone up 50% from what we initially thought.
Always.
Okay.
Time to raise prices.
Is there any further discussion on this? So then we have 50, 51, and 52. This is the pawn license, second-hand dealer, and second-hand jewelry. A second-hand dealer.
Mr. Chairman, based on all discussion, I move for approval.
Nice second.
If I could, Mr. Chairman? That should be subject to actually execution of the plan of
Business plan.
operation, business
Yeah.
plan of operation, which, yeah, I'm not
we've
sure where
verbally-
that's at now, but you
yep.
gotta amend to get the
Yep.
250
Yep.
in there. I think everything else was all laid out and agreed
Yeah.
on, as I understand, yeah.
That was the last sticking point.
So Scott, do you want the amendment first? The 250 amendment
No,
as a separate vote?
just make your
So the motion includes all the discussion items that we,
Yeah.
Basically, subject to necessary
Subject to
requirements.
the, with the plan of operation being
Plan
one of
of
the necessary requirements, right?
Right.
as stated.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Then we have item number 53, I think 53 and 54. This is for
I'll
a,
move approval.
on both of them?
Second.
Yep. Was this our last beer license?
That's what my question, we're done?
Yes.
I believe that's
It's
it.
our last one.
So when Big Eves comes, they're gonna,
That's correct.
Okay.
just let's all go to the dentist.
Well, good thing we have a quota.
Is there any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Beer.
Oh, you know, Shakey's.
A couple of scoops right in the
Yeah.
beer
Fish
float.
fry.
beer float,
He does
beer
a fish
float.
fry.
Okay, item number 55, this is, the
Why is this
license.
on there? Is this just,
Well,
Clean up.
yeah,
and this one's always been counted in our inventory
place on
of
file.
licenses and all that? It's good.
It's, right, now the license is gone.
Yeah.
We waited for 90 days after the license year
And we
began on
just did.
July 1st.
so the motion
Nothing
placed in a
came
file?
And that one just is vapor, or?
It's gone
It's
already.
gone.
We had already counted it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gone.
Okay.
this particular one expired June 30th of 2014.
Move the place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I wrote down.
Yeah. I saw that you wrote that down.
Motion adjourned?
Popular.
So Mr. Chair? I had to look up what a Jersey
All in
barrier
favor?
is.
We'll work on a new quota memo.
thought you went to
There are a
Cigarro.
couple of other reductions.